So I'm going to cut right to the chase. The hot topics I see as becoming, is it going in and out? Is it working? Oh, you're good. Okay, thanks. So the hot topics I'd say right now, from an editor's perspective, because the reality is, as we all know, the future of work is now the present of work in many ways, especially with COVID. So the future, what I'm seeing in terms of trends at AMJ, just finished up my term there, yay, finally done. But many hundreds of papers and decision letters under my belt. I think autonomy, the flip side of autonomy being alienation, and and then technology. Technology, of course, we know that's always a hot topic at the meso and macro levels, not so much at the micro level, but that's becoming increasingly so. Now, does hot topic slash fad slash trend mean something that you all should capitalize on, being that anything you start doing now is probably not going to hit for a couple of years? I don't know. That's kind of something that we'll have to work out together, and you kind of have to read the temperature of the field as it evolves. But these are the topics that I've seen for the most part that people are hitting on, and they have something very clearly new to say and something that's of urgency, and that people want to hear what people are doing on those topics. My favorite example of this, so there are 8 authors on this paper, not even going to try to go there, but the paper is on, just got accepted to AMJ. I was the editor on this paper. It's on how artificial intelligence has affected conscientious employees, their experience at work. Specifically when they're getting AI that's really good at what it does, and it's this soulless capacity that can perform tasks that could never be performed before. Highly conscientious people who are very detail oriented and love having control over as much control as possible over their environment, don't love it, don't really like that experience, and so it affects their own intrapsychic patterns and experiences at work and their ability to do their job well. So something I wanted to highlight there that I think the authors did a really good job of, and I think is just a good habit of writing anytime you have a future orientation, is to explicitly incorporate the past in the theorizing, but then also in the data itself. And the traditional way we theorize about, and then we put forth tensions that we're trying to resolve in terms of data, at least micro folks do, is via the 2x2, right? So you have some kind of tension that it exists in a certain way, and that's if you think about two different simple slopes in an interaction graph that's being plotted, so very common in the microsphere, you'll have one effect, that's one slope that's often a null effect. It's the flat line. That's going to be often the way things have always been, and then there's a line about that may be the other moderating line, one standard deviation above the mean, whatever that might be. That might represent where the world is going. All right, so artificial intelligence versus a lack of artificial intelligence, or a certain type of technology like Zoom versus not. How does that affect employees who their experience of autonomy and alienation at work? So you have one line of the moderators kind of representing the old news, not the old news, but the old way of thinking about it, the traditional conventional way of thinking about the pattern, and then the other simple slopes representing the new pattern. This paper does a really nice job of giving you a sense of how conscientious employees have experienced work the old way. As I recall it, that was actually the line that was sloping up, and then the new way, which is the line that's sloping down. Specifically, they don't like the new world of work, or they're struggling with how to understand and reconcile their own personality vis-a-vis these new capabilities. So that's just one example, but I think those basic patterns, or those basic phenomena, are going to probably stick around for a while. Autonomy, resilience, and technology on the microsphere, and it's just a matter of how it's going to be implemented. Okay, thanks. And again, I'll just return back to this idea, this classic idea in storytelling and in conveying our own findings to the field, so that they are maximally they yield maximal traction. It really is about carving out tension. So not just talking about where we are right now or where we're going, but comparing it explicitly, not only theoretically, but also methodologically and empirically in the data, with where we used to be in the past. So that paper is a really nice exemplar of something that's worked recently at AMJ, pointing toward the future and giving us a sense of, okay, what are we about to come upon, and what are the challenges of the world that we're about to enter into, but not losing sight of where we've been in the past.